Since Speak Now, Taylor's version just came out, we have a whole new batch of From the Vault tracks from Taylor Swift. We're around like halfway through Taylor Swift's re-recordings. I think we're about at that halfway mark. So I feel like this would be a good time to go check out all of the From the Vault tracks that Taylor's released so far and rank them. First song, let's get this one out of the way. All Too Well, 10-minute version. Starting off with All Too Well, the 10-minute version. I've said a bunch of times that I prefer the 5-minute version of this song. I feel like that song, not a lot needed to be changed. I think adding some stuff to it isn't the worst idea. I mean, at least there's a Taylor's version of the 5-minute version too, so like I really have nothing to complain about. But I don't think that the new verses are as good as the old verses. I don't. It brings down the song the tiniest bit. But that being said, this song is still All Too Well. I still think that this is one of her best songs, regardless of there being some new verses on it that I don't like as much. I think that the production is fine. I don't feel like it necessarily adds anything like some other Taylor version songs do, but overall, it's still All Too Well. It's still a beautiful song. It's still really, 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 really well-written track. Yeah, it's in her best, honestly. It is in that top caliber of Taylor Swift songs. That was an easy one. Now moving on to You All Over Me. I don't think I've listened to this since like the first couple times I listened to this album. Okay, You All Over Me off of the Fearless re-recordings. I feel like the song's fine. I feel like this is a sweet, simple song that isn't trying to do too much. I'm gonna put it in good. I feel like overall it's a solid track. Hard to dislike, I don't think. I feel like this could have been a cut off of Taylor Swift's first album, her self-titled record. It's a cute track, it's fine. Moving on, Babe.
What about your promises?
I know where this one lands for me. Babe off of Red. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Yeah, this song's good. I don't think it's a Taylor Swift song that really would have stood on its own as a single or anything like that, but as an album track, I could see this being in a Taylor Swift album and doing really well. There are better versions of this song that Taylor has in her catalog, but it's got a nice sweet chorus to it, a killer bridge. It's not the most exciting track. I mean, it's not some of her best lyricism or anything like that, but it doesn't do anything bad, and it kind of does everything, you know, all the basics pretty well. So I think it's a little bit better than the mid tier. Moving on, what's next? It's a more recent one. Off Speak Now, When Emma Falls in Love. Okay, When Emma Falls in Love, there's a lot that I don't like about this song. I don't think I necessarily hate it, but there's just way too many eye roller lines on here. I think that it feels a little clunky in the subject matter, and the chorus just doesn't hit. It just doesn't feel gratifying to me. It just, especially when it's like, it's hard to grip onto a chorus like this that isn't like that melodically interesting when the lyrics are also kind of not great. It was just kind of a failed concept to begin with. I don't think that this song was really just that conceived that well. I mean, like Cleopatra, she grew up in a small town. Like, really? Are we being serious? I don't know. I feel like maybe it's not terrible. I don't think it's bad, but I can't find myself really like listening to this. Moving on. This is a crowd pleaser. The people like this one. Okay, Mr. Perfectly Fine off of Fearless. When I first heard this song, like, it was really hard for me to get past some of the lyrics because it is very predictable in its rhyme scheme. The gimmick that this song is going for, I feel like is a little overused at a certain point, but it also has a monster chorus on it. I feel like this is just a really solid pop track. I'm gonna put it in good. Definitely sounds like it was written by a 19-year-old girl, and that's fine sometimes, you know. It's definitely not some of her most mature or eloquent songwriting, but it's a fun pop track. What do we have next? Oh no, this was like a weirdly divisive one. I still can't see why. Message in a Bottle. Yeah, it's no secret the way that I feel about this song. I mean, I used to say this was one of her worst pop songs that I've heard. I don't necessarily think it's that bad. I think it, relative to the rest of the Red From the Vault tracks, I feel like this is easily like one of the worst of them. Guys, how can we get behind this instrumental? How can we get behind it? One of the most like retail, boring, movementless, like just nothing instrumentals of any Taylor Swift pop song. It is just nothing. This instrumental sounds like one of those songs that like plays underneath like an infomercial. This is a Peloton ad ass instrumental, and it's not like she's doing anything crazy lyrically or instrumentally here either. Message in a Bottle is a big fat no for me. All right. Oh God. Electric Touch. All right. Okay. Electric Touch. Man, I feel like this song could have been in May. Let's say Fall Out Boy isn't in this song at all. Let's say Fall Out Boy was left off of this. I think it probably maxes out at May. It's just not some of Taylor's best songwriting. I think the Electric Touch is just, it's a lazy melody. There's nothing that you can really latch on to be like, oh yeah, this is what I want out of Taylor. But Fall Out Boy brings it down for me, man. And not necessarily that like it was just a terrible vocal performance. It just doesn't make any sense. I think it was doomed from day one when Taylor decided to add them onto the song. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, like, I don't think there's anything they could have done on this song that makes sense to me. It sounds bad because it's mismatched so terribly. If nothing's in her worst, Electric Touch is the first one going down. What's next? Keith Urban. Okay, that's Win. Really, really strong chorus on this song. I cannot overemphasize how good I think this chorus is. Really fucking catchy, straight to the point. I think that the only issue I really have with this song is that, like, I think that the verses and the bridge are, like, a leagues below the chorus in terms of quality. Keith Urban's not a bad feature or anything like that. I would have preferred him to just rip a guitar solo. I think Keith Urban's a great guitarist. That would be cool. Yeah, I still think it's a good song though. It is carried a little bit by the chorus, but that's fine because the chorus rips. What do we have next, guys?
They tell you while you're young.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, nothing new. Taylor Swift featuring Phoebe Bridgers, the easily one of her best songs. Not just one of her best, like, from the vault, one of her best songs ever. Top 10. I'm not hearing anything, I won't hear any arguments that it's not top 10. It might even be in my top 5 Taylor Swift songs ever. I think that this song is so brilliant in its concept, so brilliantly executed as well. And I also think that Phoebe Bridgers' verse on here, her contribution to this song in general, might be like the best feature ever done on a Taylor Swift song. Genuinely, like, it's just such a perfect match. The best song that Taylor Swift has put out in the 2020s, including any song from Folklore, any song from Evermore. This is the best one. Moving on, Castle's Crumbling, featuring Hayley Williams. Castle's Crumbling. Honestly, while I can see the appeal of this more than when Emma falls in love, I just don't. This song is like, I feel like it's begging me to feel something, but it doesn't. I don't feel anything from this track. I feel like Hayley Williams is wasted on here on a track like this. There's not anything necessarily wrong with it, I guess, but it's also there isn't anything interesting. I mean nothing interesting. It just isn't like, there's not much for me to grasp onto. There's a world where this one grows on me. I don't think there's a world where When Emma Falls in Love is really going to ever make it up here. Again, this is one of the more recent tracks, obviously, but that's just the way I feel about it. All right, moving on. Don't You. All right, Don't You. The song sounds like, it sounds nothing like Fearless. It really does sound like one of the songs off of like Midnight's, like the 3 a.m. version. It sounds like one of those 3 a.m. tracks. It sounds really out of place for the record, but I think it's a really solid track. And there's a lot of Fearless songs up here and good. I honestly don't remember liking them as much as I like them right now listening to them. But there's some really solid tracks on the Fearless from the vault. So, all right. Moving on. I Bet You Think About Me.
I'm still awake. I'll bet
Chris
you're
Stapleton.
just fine.
I Bet You Think About Me with Chris Stapleton. This song, I've always thought this is one of the best from the vault tracks, and I haven't heard it in a while. Went back to it just now, and I really do think it is like a top caliber song for Taylor Swift. It's up there. Really, really good. The fact that the entire her best category is all songs from Red, all from the vault tracks from Red, is really funny. But it really is that good. I think that Nothing New is and All Too Well are better songs for sure. But I love the storytelling of this on this song. I think Chris Stapleton sounds really good on here. The instrumental with the harmonica and all the country elements works really well. And I'm really impressed that she was able to sell the country sound when she's been this far removed, so far removed from country for such a long time. Moving on, what do we have next? Okay, 2 good ones back to back. I Can See You. I Can See You off of Speak Now. Honestly, I'm gonna put I Can See You up in her best. It's a banger. It's fresh. You know, it could move down. I don't think it's quite as good as Nothing New, but dude, it's a fucking banger. It's good. It's a catchy ass song. The instrumental, like the Clash vibe. She really sells the attitude of this track really, really well, better than she does on Reputation. At any point, I love what she does on this track. She has great delivery, fun chorus. What's not to like? Moving on. Bye Bye Baby. Bye Bye Baby, off of Fearless. What it really suffers from is how slow it moves. It moves at a snail's pace. I think that it feels like a song that could have been like 2.5 minutes long, and it just stretched out to 4 minutes. And it just finds me waiting for the chorus to happen again after a certain point. But it's got a great bridge to it. God, man, here's the thing is I feel like all the songs over here in good are better than it, though. Honestly, I'm just gonna put it at the bottom of good. I think it's better than When Emma Falls in Love, and it's better than Castles Crumbling. It's in the bottom of good. It's up here with all of the other Fearless songs. Moving on. Okay, Forever Winter. God damn. Forever Winter, the vocal performance on this track, I forgot that it was this good. It almost makes me wonder, I feel like, if she actually ended up putting this song on the album initially, if it would have come across this good. A big selling point of this track is the way that she delivers it. I really think that it's very, very, very strong vocal performance from Taylor, and I feel like the vocals on a track like this could have made or broke it, you know? She absolutely kills this. And honestly, really, really strong songwriting from Taylor on this one too. So moving on, what do we have next?
My cards
Foolish
are on
One.
the table.
Foolish One. It's a very sweet song. I think that it's very Taylor. It's very Speak Now era Taylor Swift. I feel like this song fits in the Speak Now era. I think it's cute. I think it's very cute. I'm going to put it in good. Moving on. We Were Happy. I don't remember this one. We Were Happy. This song really does sound like she wrote it when she was very young, and I hope to God this was one of the ones that she wrote when she was like 18, 19 or whatever. The lyrics just aren't very good. It's just also kind of a absolute snooze fest. There really isn't anything interesting going on in the instrumental. It doesn't like have like a big climactic moment that really pays off for this song. I think I just got to put it, it's down here in bad. Moving on. Oh, Ed. I'm not bringing out Ed. Run, featuring Ed Sheeran is not, listen, it's not a sweet duet. It's attempting to be, but it comes across insanely rigid. I don't know how you guys don't feel, some of you guys don't feel this, but it's one of the more rigid duets I've heard in recent memory. It doesn't feel natural. It's not like it's lyrically compatible either, or they're saying, I don't know. You guys ever have a feeling when you like listen to a song, you're like, oh, they're just saying stuff. They have a topic and they're saying it. Yeah, this one's pretty bad. This one's this one doesn't do anything for me. It's sounds like neither of them are invested whatsoever. But they have another duet that is way better than this. All right. Timeless. I'm gonna be a hater here. I'm gonna be a super hater. This is bordering her worst for me. Listen. There's 3 rules of thought. All right, it's in bad, and I have 3 reasons why. Okay, I have 3 reasons why I'm putting this in bad. 1, concept overdone, cheesy as can possibly be. It is really hard to sell this concept without it coming across as unbelievably corny. 2. The execution of that in the specific dates that she brought up is weird. Okay, it's weird. People were getting drafted in a war where there was a genocide. I mean, dude, I just can't imagine like bringing up 1944 in like a cute love song. Like, I get it. She's trying to say love prevails, but it's like, can we not? Can we not bring up like these fucking dates? Weird choices. I think weird choices in the songwriting. And 3, it's boring as hell. I'm sorry. It's not clever. It's boring. It's not. Taylor can do so much better than this. We've heard Taylor Swift do so much better than this. Oh, does this one really count? I mean, I guess it does count. Better Man. This is a banger, but no, I'm kidding. I'm gonna put it in. I think Better Man deserves to be up here above these songs. I think Better Man's a better song than Mr. Perfectly Fine. Yeah, I don't have an emotional attachment to the song like a lot of people do because I didn't listen to the original version. But it's a really well written track. I'm gonna leave it at that. Last song, The Very First Night.
Last one, The First Night. This is fun. It's a fun pop track. It doesn't belong up here in this tier. It's a fun song though. I think there's some weird production choices with like adding the banjo in the chorus, and I kind of wish the chorus hit a lot harder in its instrumental. Just kind of like, I wish it picked it up at least a little bit in like volume and impact. But you know, it has like a lot of like energy similar to like 22 or something else like that off of Red. So this is the list. I ended up not adding anything in her worst. If I had to choose a song, this is what I would do. If I had to choose, probably this. If I had to move 2 down, it's Message in a Bottle, Electric Touch. These 2 songs I'm putting in her worst because like these are the 2 songs that I feel like I'm like, come on, Taylor, come on. Message in a Bottle, garbage instrumental. Electric Touch, insane decision to have Fall Out Boy on that song. Okay, I would put Timeless down here, but I feel like it isn't that bad. I'm just like, I really like pointing out like the insane songwriting choices on Timeless. Wait, hold on. Add row above and make it pink. Goated. There we go. Now I'm happy. Nothing new deserves its own tier. Nothing new deserves its own tier, okay? There we go. 4 leftover tracks, for the majority of them being leftover tracks. I feel like most of the From the Vault songs are pretty good. I think that Speak Now, the From the Vault tracks that Speak Now are pretty disappointing, but the Fearless ones are better than I remember, and most of the Red ones are really good. Overall, you know, as far as like leftovers and like bonus tracks go, most of these are pretty good. You know, there's a couple bad ones, but you know, they're bound to be. There's bound to be a couple bad ones.